Okay, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk market setup. So this is in my house. From the door or window or whatever out to here is 3 meters, and then this way is almost 3 meters to where those things are. So I have a 3 by 3 meter space, but I wasn't allowed to bring my gazebo anymore, which is fine because we have compromised a little bit. So as you can see here, this up the back here is representing a wall, and then here is where there's some steps down, just to give you kind of irrelevant information. And then over here I will be backing on to like the next person. So the table that I've got without anything on it at the moment is going to be where the laser is going to live. And then this is all the stock that basically doesn't fit. I have to take considerably less this time. Mainly my signs can't go, the charcuterie boards, and then all of my possum pouch bags. So they won't fit on this market. However, I've got other stuff and it'll be fine. So on this rack here, I got this secondhand off Buy Swap and Sell, but I think Kmart used to sell something very similar. It folds up straight in the middle. So it's straight up there, it folds in half. This thing comes off and it folds down flat, which is perfect for portableness. And so I've got the 2 Empresses up the top. I'm going to have a few more Empresses, and in a perfect world, I'm going to make some more Vixens as well, but time depending, I might not get there. So this bag will probably move down to the bottom to fit the other 2 horror bags that I've got for the rack. But this is basically all to do with bags. And then if I get time, I'm going to hang off here some towels with the little loop and the press stud. So I've bought the stuff. It's just a matter of, do I get time? This will be laser, and then I will sit behind there. And then when we come over here, this is going to hold all of the pendant style necklaces in the different colors just around. And these things swivel. I did actually make this myself. I can't remember if I've released the video or not yet, but I will show you how I made these. I made this one with the laser completely. So this has got all of my dog tags. You can see I've done it uniformly the same in all the different colors. And then I've got the fancy sparkly ones. And these are straw charms, which aren't as popular as I thought, but I have some thoughts on those. And then we come to the jewelry stuff. So I've tried to keep the jewelry stuff close to the laser so that I can help with anyone that's got questions or issues. These are obviously, they all fell off when I drove around last time, but they will sit neater on there. And in the middle will be the price list. I just haven't put it out. This thing has lights that attach to it so that the area lights up. Obviously in here it's nice and bright, but in the actual market space the room is a lot darker than this. So then I've got all of my trays of all of the different charms, and I literally have about 1,000 because I'm ridiculous. That's fine. And then we continue on. So I've put most of my fringe bags on these little stands. So I got these stands from Buy Swap and Sell. They were from Mimco because they've moved to a different display style. So I've got those stands to hold all the fringed bags because I thought that they would get lost on here. So I've still got a couple on here because I've only got so much room. And these also hang all of my kangaroo bags because I love them. They're pretty popular. So that's kangaroos and rascals on there. But then a couple of key pretty ones can go up here. So as I sell them, I can just replace them with more stuff off there so it all looks full and wonderful. Then this here is a basket. I got this basket for $8.50 from Kmart, and it's got all of the reusable scent things that hang from the car mirror. So this is just a representation of what we're going to do, but we're going to have like a board where these all sit on because I've got a couple of different scents. So I'm going to have them in pretty lines. We're going to make it on the laser. It's on my list of things to do. This wire basket was $16.50 from Kmart, and it's holding all of my boxy pouches in there. So I'm going to make a price tag that's going to sit in front. That will be a video as well. I'm going to use these that I made on the laser, but this is what they look laser engraved. And in the room, it's quite dark and you can't read it as well. So what I'm actually going to do is repurpose them, and on the back, I'm going to put glow-in-the-dark HTV so that the price tags glow and you can see them easier. So that's the plan for those. That one will obviously need to be bigger for that, but then I'll have one here as well and just put them kind of in front of all the baskets. So this is just representative of how I'm going to display those. Ignore that. Then we move on to this. This was also from Kmart. I have a few more things to make, but I've got 3 days and you'd be surprised at how quick it goes. So I'm going to have all of my coffin boxes in the bottom. So these coffin boxes, again, will have a price tag out the front. I line them with velvet. I think they're amazing. You can use them as whatever you want, really. Jewelry boxes, women's sanitary boxes. That's what I use mine for in the bathroom. And then these 2 layers will be all of the laser engraved tumblers. Because, again, I've got a few that I can do. And I didn't want to put it too crowded. In saying that, I do still have one more thing I'd like to get on this table if I get time to make them. These are all of my key fobs. Now, I used to try and hang them on this. However, they fell off all the time and it frustrated both me and the customers. They thought they were breaking my stuff and then they felt awkward and ran away. So to avoid that, I've put them in here instead. And again, I will make a nice little stand with a price. And the last thing I've got is these purse pals. So I face them so you can see the pretty stuff. And I'm zigzagging them so that you can see all of the prints. So crisscross like this. And then again, I'm going to make a price tag for there. And that's pretty much all I can fit without getting too crowded. Now, I do still want to make some sunglasses holders, which I might go and buy another one of these baskets for, because that won't need a whole lot of room. I also need to make up some more scents of those because we're out of coconut lychee and I've bought a new scent called Rainforest. So I'd like to have those ready for the weekend. But apart from that, that is now my setup. I made all of my, what are they called, tablecloths myself because it actually worked out cheaper. This is called Panay Velvet. You buy it when it's on sale. It's crazy cheap. Obviously, I've got a little bit of puckering there, but nobody really notices or cares. And I like these ones better than the ones that hook under the table legs. Personal preference. But that's pretty much what my market stall is going to be because I'm in a new area this time. So I really wanted to test it. This is very full. I know that. But I want to take as many bags as possible. And I can't really fit more on there. So things we're not taking is I've got a few. I've got this one. I love this, but it's the wrong vibe for this market. That's a carousel horse and it's a bit too pretty. If it was spookier, it would probably sell. I'm not taking the leg bags because I haven't figured out how to display them properly. Like I said, I'm not taking any of the signs because there's nowhere to hang them. And the charcuterie boards just don't really fit anywhere. And then these are all the bags that also won't fit. So I've got a bunch of Lolas, possum pouches, and then in this tub, these are all the cell phone slings. I would love to take them, but they just don't all fit. So that's what's not going this round. We will see for the next one though. But I think that's a pretty good setup. I don't want it to look too crowded that people get overwhelmed and leave, and I don't want it to look too empty. So if that bag sells, I can just come here, grab another one of these, and then pop it up there, and it'll all work out nicely. So that is my market setup for this round. And I will let you know on Monday. I'll do a little live after my market to let you know how I went. But I think that's going to look really nice. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.